Hi guys, this is EDIFICAST and today's episode is How do you know if it's wrong? Test specimens.
I am Lorena, and me and the girls, Maria and Laura,
Hi!
going to introduce and talk a little more about construction materials and what this subject is like at Safed, especially in the first year.
Construction materials are all the materials used to build, renovate, or maintain civil works, like house, building, bridges, and roads.
They can be natural or industrialized, and which one was a specific characters that determine how and where it can be used.
It's really cool to see the specimens being molded and tasted. And it helps us understand how important quality control is.
Wood instead of steel to build a bridge, right? Or concrete for a house window.
Let's talk about some common construction materials and where they use it.
Concrete. It's used in slabs, beams, columns, and foundations.
Steel is very common in metal structures and also refers reinforced concrete.
Bricks and blocks used for ceiling and structural masonry.
And let's not forget wood, which is used in doors, furniture, and sometimes even in the structure of smaller buildings.
Each material has its pros and cons. For example, concrete is super strong but takes time to cure, while steel is fast to install but needs protection for corrosion.
Now let's talk about test specimens.
Test specimens are small samples made with the same material that will be used in the construction.
They help us test the quality and make sure the material meets technical standards and can handle the loads of the building.
That's why we say, test first, build later.
And these tests are usually done in laboratories that follow strict procedures. And now, let's talk about two very common tests.
First, the compression test used on concrete.
You take a cylindrical specimen and put an hydraulic press, wood and bricks.
The maximum force it supports shows its compressive strength.
The second test, water absorption, used on ceramic blocks and bricks.
You weigh the dry block, soak it in water, then weigh it again. The difference shows how much water it absorbed.
There's also the flexure strength test, especially used in beams.
And the pull-out test, used to evaluate how well steel bars bond with the concrete.
All of these are part of quality control.
These tests are super important for safety and quality.
Before you build a slab or a tall building, you need to know if the materials are strong enough.
It's really cool to see specimens being molded and tested. And it is helping us really cool to see specimens being
Way to be sure that the materials are following the right standards for your project.
And here at Safed, we have a practical class where we see and do these tests.
It's really cool to see specimens being molded and tested. And it helps us understand how important quality control is.
Do you remember our first compression test? The concrete cylinder exploded and made a really loud noise.
Yes, and the teacher explained exactly why that happened. The concrete wasn't screwed properly.
This practical lesson makes everything more real. We understand how mistake in preparation can lead to serious problems.
We also saw how different mixes change the results. A mix with more water, for example, usually has lower resistance.
Exactly. That's why proportioning the materials used is just as important as test then.
So now you know how we find out if it's round or better, if the material is really good.
It's all about testing and make sure everything is safe and up to start.
Thank you for listening to EDIFICAST. And remember, test first, build later.
And don't forget, guys, if you want to see this test live, don't miss the Civil Engineering Week at Cefet.
There will be practical demonstration, lectures, and a lot of hands-on learning. Come learn, test, and build it with us.
So guys, see you in the next episode. And until then, build and smart, build and safe, and never, ever, ever skip the test. And by the way, there are plenty of other videos on our podcast that divide deeper into construction and engineering topics.
And if you have any questions or suggestions, just leave a comment. We are here to help you.
Bye bye, my dears. Good luck on the test to enter Cefet.
Good luck, guys.
We are rooting for you, guys.